What if paradise had wings and a personality? Because in Bali, it does. This isn't just an island of temples and tourists. It's an island that sings. And the singers, they're wild, sacred, and sometimes total divas. So here's the question you'll want to answer by the end of this video. If the gods of Bali had to choose one bird to carry their message, which one would they pick? Spoiler, it's not the one you think. From the snow-white Bali Starling, rarer than kindness on a Monday, to the neon chaos of the Rainbow Lorikeet, these birds don't just live here, they run the place. They prey in rice fields, gossip in coconut trees, and crash temple ceremonies like they own the invitation list. Some are symbols of purity, some of mischief, and one might just be the reincarnation of a rock star. So grab a coconut, take a seat, and let's meet 20 wings that prove heaven doesn't need to wait. It's already flying over Bali. By the time we're done, you'll know which of these birds deserves the gods, and which one's just here for the applause. You ever look at a bird and think, yeah, that thing's definitely judging me? That's the White-bellied Sea Eagle, the boss of Bali's skies, the kind of bird that doesn't fly over the island. It patrols it. This eagle doesn't flutter, it cruises. 6-foot wingspan, white chest like polished marble, and that slow, confident glide that says, I don't chase storms. They move for me. You'll spot it soaring over the coastline, eyes locked on the sea like a sniper scanning blue infinity. And when it spots prey, a fish, a crab, maybe a poor unsuspecting pigeon, it doesn't dive in chaos. No flapping, no screeching, just drop, strike, done. Grace with an attitude problem. But here's where it gets wild. This bird isn't just a predator, it's a symbol. In Balinese culture, the sea eagle represents courage and divine watchfulness. They believe it carries messages between gods and men, patrolling the line between ocean and sky like a feathered messenger of karma. And honestly, it fits. You can't look at one without feeling like it knows all your secrets. Its territory stretches across beaches, cliffs, and even sacred temple shores. Couples mate for life, nesting in giant trees or rocky outcrops, and they return to the same nest year after year, adding new layers until the thing's basically a condo. It's not just home, it's inheritance. Here's a fun twist. They hunt in pairs. One eagle flushes the fish to the surface, the other swoops in to snatch it clean. That's teamwork so good it should have its own TED Talk. And while the tourists snap photos, these birds barely acknowledge the humans below, too busy being divine middle management. So tell me, if you ruled the skies above paradise, would you spend your day hunting fish or just watching everyone else work? The white-bellied sea eagle doesn't perform, it supervises. Majestic, ruthless, and probably silently judging your beach selfie right now. You know that friend who always looks flawless in every photo? Even when you're sweating, blinking, or halfway sneezing? That's the great egret. Pure white, long-necked, perfectly composed, like nature's version of a supermodel who refuses to break a pose. But don't let the calm fool you. This bird is a master of precision. It hunts by doing absolutely nothing. It stands there, motionless, for minutes, sometimes hours, waiting for a fish to make one stupid mistake. And the second that happens, snap. Dinner's served. No drama, no splash, just elegance with murder in mind. They say patience is a virtue. The great egret turned it into a hunting strategy. Here's a fun fact. Those silky white feathers once made this bird almost extinct. In the 19th century, fashion icons in Europe and America wanted egret plumes for their hats. Entire colonies were wiped out so someone could look fabulous. Imagine risking extinction for millinery. That's peak human behavior. Luckily, conservation laws stepped in just in time, and now the great egret's comeback is one of the best glow-ups in wildlife history. And honestly, she knows it. Watch one in the rice paddies of Bali at sunrise. Neck stretched, feathers glowing gold. And tell me that isn't confidence. Farmers here even believe the egret brings balance, a good omen for the season ahead. Here's what I love. The egret never rushes. Everything about it says, calm down, I've got this. While everyone else panics about survival, this bird just stands in grace, and somehow the world bends to meet its rhythm. So let's be real. In a world obsessed with noise, wouldn't you rather be the one who wins by standing still? The great egret doesn't chase life. It lets life come to it. Head high, feathers flawless, and probably thinking, you wish you had my composure. If the great egret is the queen, then the little egret is her mischievous younger sister. Graceful, yes, but with way more personality and way less patience. You'll spot her in Bali's rice paddies at dawn, gliding through the flooded fields like a ballerina in silk. That snowy white plumage catches the first sunlight, and for a second, it feels like the entire field is glowing. Then she moves, quick, sharp, confident, her black legs flicking through the water like brushstrokes. But unlike her royal cousin who just waits for food to come to her, the little egret hunts on the move. She wades, she stirs, she strikes, turning fishing into performance art. Every lunge looks choreographed, every step perfectly timed. She's the kind of bird that could catch lunch and steal the show doing it. Here's the fun part. Those bright yellow feet, they're not fashion accessories. They're bait. The egret wiggles them in the water to mimic insects, tricking fish into swimming closer, like a magician flashing gold coins before the trick. Evolution with style points. And while most birds squabble for territory, the little egret just slips between them, nimble, adaptable, completely unbothered. You'll find her in mangroves, rivers, even temple ponds, always moving like she owns every reflection she walks past. She's also fiercely independent. No entourage, no ceremony, just focus. While tourists snap selfies by the water, she's out there working. A one-bird show that somehow manages to look elegant doing manual labor. There's something beautifully human about that, right? Small, ambitious, doing 10 things at once, but making it look effortless. So tell me, in a world where everyone's fighting to stand out, isn't the real flex being unforgettable without even trying? The little egret doesn't wait for the spotlight. She creates it, one flash of gold feet at a time. If Bali had a soul, it would look like this bird, pure white, glowing under the tropical sun, and rare enough that even the gods might whisper when it flies by. Meet the Bali Starling, or as locals call it, the spirit of the island. It's not just beautiful, it's unreal. Snow white feathers, electric blue eye patches, and a voice that sounds like a flute echoing through a temple at dawn. Every time it calls, the island seems to hold its breath, like Bali itself is remembering something sacred. But here's the twist. This bird almost didn't make it. At one point, there were fewer than 10 left in the wild. 10. That's not endangered. That's nearly a ghost story. Poaching, habitat loss, the usual human drama. But somehow the island refused to let its spirit die. Conservationists, monks, and even local villagers joined forces, raising, releasing, and protecting them like family. And slowly the Bali Starling came back, not in flocks, but in whispers, like hope returning on wings. They mate for life, and when one builds a nest in the temple gardens or acacia trees, it's seen as a blessing, a sign that the gods haven't left. Because on this island, birds aren't just animals, they're messengers. Feathers, faith, and freedom all tied into one. You ever think about that? We take selfies in paradise. This bird is paradise. It doesn't need captions or filters. It's the reminder that beauty isn't meant to be owned, only witnessed. And maybe that's why it's still rare, because the sacred doesn't multiply, it endures. So tell me, if you could bring one thing back from the edge of extinction, would it be for you or for the world to remember what's worth saving? The Bali Starling doesn't sing for attention, it sings for forgiveness. The white flame of Bali's heart, still flying, still watching, still waiting for us to deserve it. Not every traveler in Bali wears flowers or carries a surfboard. Some just arrive quietly on the wind, like the black turnstone, the little shorebird that treats the beach like a temple. You'll find it where the ocean exhales, waves rolling in, foam hissing on black volcanic sand. There it is, small, dark, deliberate. Not a diva like the egrets, not a monk like the starling, more like the island's humble pilgrim. No flash, no fanfare, just purpose. It spends its days flipping pebbles with that stubby black bill, searching for tiny crabs and insects hidden beneath. That's how it got its name, turnstone. Every rock, every shell, it turns, checks, moves on. A simple act, repeated thousands of times a day. Kind of like prayer if you think about it. Here's the wild part. This bird doesn't even belong to Bali. It migrates all the way from Alaska. Yeah, Alaska. We're talking 9,000 kilometers of nonstop sky, from glaciers to palm trees, from frostbite to heat stroke, and it just lands here like it never left. Talk about range. Most of us can't even survive a connecting flight without snacks and Wi-Fi. This bird does intercontinental travel on muscle and instinct. No GPS, no passport, just an unshakable sense of direction. And when it gets here, it doesn't strut or celebrate. It works, turning stones, feeding, resting, waiting for the wind to call it home again. No drama, no applause, just quiet purpose. There's something deeply human about that, isn't there? Flying halfway across the planet, not to conquer or collect, just to keep doing what you're meant to do. So tell me, if your journey took you across the world, would you still remember why you started walking in the first place? The black turnstone doesn't chase paradise. It finds it in the small, patient ritual of lifting one stone at a time. If Bali had a neighborhood rumor mill, this bird would be running it. Meet the Asian cole, the voice that wakes the island, and possibly the reason nobody's ever really sleeping in here. You'll hear it before you see it. That loud rising coo-oo, coo-oo, echoing through the palms at sunrise like an overly dramatic alarm clock. It doesn't chirp, it announces itself. Every morning, without fail. And honestly, it sounds like it's laughing at you for still being in bed. Locals say the cole calls when the rains are coming. The start of a new season, a reminder that change is literally in the air. But they also say it's a love call. Male coles sing relentlessly to impress the ladies, and once she shows up, the duet begins, a wild, echoing symphony that fills the tropical dawn. It's nature's version of karaoke, except nobody gets to sleep through it. Here's the twist. Coles are brood parasites. They lay their eggs in the nests of unsuspecting crows, then fly off and let the poor foster parents raise their kids. Ruthless? Maybe. Effective? Absolutely. The chicks grow faster, louder, and bossier than their crow siblings. Classic overachievers with questionable ethics. But before you judge, think about it. That's adaptation at its most audacious. Why build when you can outsource? It's the bird equivalent of hiring a nanny, if the nanny didn't know you existed. And here's what makes it oddly fitting for Bali. This bird is everywhere, from temple courtyards to beach villages. Its call mixing with prayer bells and scooter horns. It's chaos, but it works, just like the island itself. Some people find the cole's voice annoying. Others call it divine. But isn't that what happens with truth tellers? You either love them or wish they'd stop talking. So tell me, is the Asian cole Bali's morning blessing, or just the world's most persistent alarm clock with wings? Either way, it's not going quiet, and maybe that's exactly the point. If the Asian cole is Bali's alarm clock, then the common myna is its talk show host. Loud, curious, and somehow always in the middle of the action. You'll see them everywhere. Temple steps, cafe rooftops, power lines above crowded markets. Strutting like they own the place. Brown body, yellow beak, sharp eyes that size you up instantly. They don't fly away when you walk by. They look right back like, oh, it's you again. And the way they talk, unbelievable. Mynas can mimic human speech, car alarms, scooter horns, even laughter. I swear some of them sound like they're roasting tourists. You think you're taking a peaceful morning walk through Ubud, then suddenly a myna shouts something that sounds like, hey, nice hat. Coincidence? Maybe. Insult? Definitely. But here's the thing. This bird's attitude is its survival strategy. The myna thrives wherever humans do. It doesn't need untouched forests or quiet beaches, just noise, food scraps, and a chance to outsmart everything else. It's the ultimate urban opportunist. While other birds panic when people show up, the myna starts planning real estate deals on your balcony. Fun fact, scientists call them one of the world's most adaptive species. They build nests in anything. Signs, pipes, temple alcoves, even helmets left outside shops. Give them 10 minutes and they'll Airbnb your scooter. They also work in pairs, always talking, always coordinating. One distracts, one steals food. That's teamwork at its loudest and smartest. And yet, amid the chaos, there's charm. The myna doesn't apologize for existing, it celebrates it. Every chirp, every call, every half-human laugh feels like it's saying, relax, this is Bali. We're all just improvising. You gotta admire that confidence, right? Some birds meditate, others pray. The myna just talks its way through life. So tell me, in a world full of quiet beauty, is there still room for the loud, clever survivors who make us laugh? The common myna isn't here to blend in. It's here to remind us that sometimes the noisiest ones are the ones actually living. If Bali had a soundtrack, this bird would sing the opening line. Meet the white-rumped shama, the tiny songbird with a voice so smooth, you'd think the jungle hired a jazz singer. It's not loud like the cole or snarky like the myna. This one sings with purpose. A rolling liquid melody that rises through the palms at sunrise, bouncing off temple walls and into the mist. It doesn't sing for the forest, it sings with it. And get this, the shama's voice isn't just beautiful, it's customizable. Each male learns the sounds of his surroundings, other birds, frogs, even human whistles, then remixes them into something completely new. It's not imitation, it's improvisation. Nature's first jazz composer. You ever hear one call right before dawn? It starts soft, like the forest stretching awake. Then the notes build, curling and twirling through the air, until suddenly you realize the whole jungle's listening. Even the monkeys pause for the encore. But here's the wild twist. This bird's beauty nearly got it silenced. Its voice made it a favorite in the illegal cage bird trade. People wanted the music for themselves, so they took the singers from the wild. Populations crashed across Southeast Asia. And yet, the shama keeps coming back. Rescued, released, reborn. Proof that even the smallest voice can carry across centuries if you let it breathe. Locals say hearing a shama before sunrise brings luck. Maybe it's true, or maybe it's just what hope sounds like when it learns to sing again. You ever wonder why we chase beauty only to lock it away? Maybe the shama's song isn't for us to own. It's for us to remember what freedom feels like. The white-rumped shama doesn't sing for applause. It sings because silence is too heavy to carry alone. If the white-rumped shama is the soulful balladeer of the forest, then the oriental magpie robin is the street performer who sets up next to your morning coffee and refuses to stop until you tip him, in applause. You'll see this little black and white bird hopping around temple courtyards and backyard gardens, tail flicking like a metronome, belting out tunes that sound way too confident for something that weighs less than your phone. And honestly, he's got reason to brag. His song is bright, sharp, and unpredictable. He'll whistle, trill, pause dramatically, then drop a note so perfect it could make a monk grin. He's the entertainer of the tropics, the kind of bird that turns background noise into a full-on performance. And here's what's crazy. Male magpie robins have distinct local dialects. Yeah, you heard that right. A robin from Ubud won't sound like one from Denpasar. It's basically the avian version of accents. Bali birds even have regional style. Imagine traveling island to island and hearing remixes of the same song everywhere you go. That's not chaos. That's culture. They're also fiercely territorial. A male will defend his singing spot with pure drama. Wings spread, tail high, screaming at anything that dares sing out of key. You could say he's the Simon Cowell of the bird world. Judgy, loud, and weirdly charming while he does it. Here's the fun twist. These little performers often hang near human homes because guess what? We give them better acoustics. Echoing walls, tiled roofs. It's like their own mini amphitheater. You thought your house was quiet at 6 a.m.? Not if a magpie robin moved into your neighborhood. But behind all that attitude is a truth you can't ignore. These birds love to be heard. They don't sing for survival. They sing for joy. And isn't that something we all forget how to do sometimes? So tell me, if no one was watching, would you still sing your heart out just because you could? The oriental magpie robin doesn't need an audience. It creates one sunrise at a time. If angels ever vacationed in Bali, this is what they'd look like. Meet the Asian paradise flycatcher, the bird that makes gravity look optional and time look jealous. You don't see it at first, you feel it. A flicker of white across the jungle canopy, a shimmer trailing behind like smoke in slow motion. Then suddenly, there it is. Long ribbon-like tail streaming through the air, a living comet with feathers instead of fire. And here's the part that'll blow your mind. That tail can be 3 times the bird's body length. It's not for flight efficiency, it's for drama. Every twist and turn says, yeah, I could be practical, but where's the fun in that? Males use those ghostly tails during courtship, flying in elegant circles around the female, flashing through beams of sunlight like an aerial ballet. No music, no words, just light and motion. And if she's impressed, well, that's the only review that matters. Their hunting style, also pure finesse. They dart through the air, catching insects mid-flight, flipping and diving with ballerina precision. It's like watching poetry that forgot it was supposed to stay on the page. But here's the twist. This beauty comes with transformation. Juveniles start brown and plain, then grow into shining adults. Males turning snowy white with black crowns. It's a literal glow-up. And when you see one gliding above a Balinese temple at dusk, you understand why locals say it carries messages from ancestors. A soul passing through air on its way to the next world. Every culture has a version of the phoenix, but this one doesn't burn to rise again. It just floats through heaven without ever falling. So tell me, if beauty doesn't last forever, does that make it less sacred or more? The Asian paradise flycatcher doesn't chase perfection. It embodies it. A ghost, a flame, and a reminder that sometimes the most breathtaking things are the ones that never stop moving. If the Asian paradise flycatcher is a ghost from heaven, the Rainbow Lorikeet is the guy throwing confetti at heaven's door. This bird doesn't just have color, it is color. Electric green wings, blue head, orange chest, red beak. It looks like someone let a 5-year-old design it with every crayon in the box. And somehow, it works. The lorikeet isn't subtle, it's Bali on wings. You'll see flocks of them racing through palm groves, screaming like teenagers at a beach concert, flashing through sunlight so fast you'd swear the sky's glitching. They don't just fly, they explode into motion. It's chaos, it's joy, it's caffeinated beauty. And their personality? Even louder than their feathers. Rainbow lorikeets are social, noisy, and slightly unhinged. They chatter, argue, play fight, steal fruit, and sometimes hang upside down from branches just for the drama. They're like parrots who skipped yoga class and went straight to karaoke night. But beneath the comedy, there's genius. They have specialized brush-tipped tongues to sip nectar from flowers. Tiny living straws that turn forests into buffets. In doing so, they pollinate trees across Bali, keeping the island's jungles blooming like a never-ending festival. So yeah, while they look like clowns, they're actually environmental engineers, and you've got to admire the teamwork. They move in tight, synchronized flocks, shouting to each other midair like, "Left! Fruit tree! Go! Go! Go!" If air traffic control ever needed mascots, these birds are it. Some locals joke that the lorikeet's constant chatter is the sound of the gods laughing. Because who could stay serious around a bird this ridiculous? Sure, it's loud. Sure, it's messy. But maybe paradise needs a little noise to remind us it's alive. So tell me, if you could bring one bird to a beach party, would you really pick the quiet one? The Rainbow Lorikeet doesn't blend into Bali. It defines it. Loud, colorful, slightly chaotic, and impossible not to love. If the Rainbow Lorikeet is the life of the party, the pink-necked green pigeon is the one slow dancing by the bar. Quiet, charming, and unfairly good-looking. You've probably seen pigeons before, but not like this. This one looks like it walked straight out of a Balinese romance movie. Soft green body, sunset orange belly, lavender head, and that perfect blush pink neck that glows when the light hits just right. Forget diamonds. This bird is iridescent affection. Unlike its noisy neighbors, the pink-necked green pigeon doesn't need attention. It coos softly from the treetops, hidden among palm leaves and mango branches, turning every orchard into a tropical love story. And the way it moves, slow, elegant, deliberate. It's like watching serenity itself learn how to fly. Here's a fun twist. This bird is a fruit addict. It feeds almost entirely on figs and berries, swallowing them whole and flying off to drop seeds across the island. In other words, it's unintentionally replanting Bali one meal at a time. A romantic and an environmentalist. That's some main character energy right there. And get this, they mate for life. Pairs build delicate nests together and share parenting duties equally. The male even takes the night shift warming the eggs. Somewhere out there, human couples are taking notes. You ever notice how some beauty doesn't shout? It just exists. That's this bird. No drama, no flash, just calm, confident color. A walking, well, flying reminder that love doesn't always have to be loud to last. In Bali, where devotion and balance shape everything, the pink-necked green pigeon fits right in. A small green heartbeat echoing through the tropical hush. So tell me, in a world full of noise and neon, wouldn't you rather fall for the one who glows quietly? The pink-necked green pigeon doesn't chase love, it cultivates it. One fruit, one sunrise, one heartbeat at a time. If Bali had a soundtrack, this bird would handle percussion. Meet the coppersmith barbet, a tiny, round, ridiculously colorful bird that sounds like it's been hammering metal all morning. Seriously, its call goes tink, 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 like someone tapping a tiny bell over and over again. You hear it echoing through palm groves, temple gardens, and city parks. Steady, rhythmic, impossible to ignore. And that's how it got its name, the blacksmith of the tropics. Now imagine this, a bird the size of a golf ball with a red forehead, yellow throat, green wings, and a streak of black eyeliner. Looking like it got ready for a Balinese parade. It sits on a branch, puffed up like a little jewel, and just keeps hammering out its tune. No audience, no stage, just pure rhythm. And here's the twist. That sound, it's not just random noise, it's communication. Barbets use their metallic calls to stake out territory and attract mates. Sometimes duetting with their partners, like a married couple arguing in perfect tempo. It's part love song, part real estate announcement. But don't let the cuteness fool you. These birds are excellent builders. They chisel holes into dead trees and nest inside, turning wood into miniature apartments. Each year they return, remodel, expand, like tiny avian architects running a construction business. And the best part, when they're gone, other species move in. Woodpeckers, owls, even squirrels, all benefit from their craftsmanship. So while they sound like little blacksmiths, they're actually city planners of the jungle. They're proof that small doesn't mean insignificant, that sometimes the world's rhythm comes from its tiniest voices. So tell me, if you could make your mark by sound alone, would you whisper or leave an echo that rings through the trees? The coppersmith barbet doesn't seek applause, it forges it, one metallic note at a time. Blink and you'll miss it. A flash of turquoise, a glint of orange, and boom, it's gone. That's the common kingfisher, Bali's tiny blue lightning bolt that hunts with the precision of a sniper and the style of a jewel thief. It's not big, barely the size of your hand, but it wears more color than a Balinese dancer. Electric blue back, fiery chest, dagger-like beak. It's like someone took sunrise and ocean and fused them into one impossible bird. You'll find it perched on a bamboo stick above a rice paddy, perfectly still. Not meditating, calculating. Every tiny ripple below gets analyzed. Every fish that moves, marked. Then, a single dive. No splash, no hesitation, just precision. Seconds later, it's back on its perch, shaking droplets like a performer finishing a perfect scene. And here's the twist. That speed isn't luck. Its eyes have built-in goggles. They can switch from air vision to underwater focus instantly, so when it dives, it's basically looking through two realities at once. Nature gave it 4K slow motion before humans even invented cameras. The kingfisher is the definition of balance. Stillness before motion, grace before violence. It doesn't waste energy. It waits until perfection is guaranteed. It's the kind of discipline even monks would envy. But despite its beauty, this bird's not about showing off. It's a minimalist. One perch, one dive, one meal. No drama, no chatter, no social media presence. Just results. You ever think about that? In a world full of noise, the ones who stay silent usually hit their targets first. The common kingfisher doesn't hunt with hunger. It hunts with confidence. And every time it slices through the air, it's a reminder that you don't need to be big to make a splash. You just need to know exactly when to dive. If the common kingfisher is sunlight in motion, then the black-capped kingfisher is the sunset that never ended. Mysterious, elegant, and just a little dangerous. You'll see it perched on a mangrove branch or a temple roof near the sea, that jet black head gleaming like polished obsidian, chest glowing deep cinnamon red, and those wings, a perfect blend of royal blue and shadow. It doesn't sparkle, it smolders. This bird doesn't rush, it waits, calm, poised, theatrical. 1 second it's a statue, the next it's a blur slicing across the air, snatching a crab or fish in one lightning strike that leaves nothing but silence behind. If James Bond were a bird, this would be his tuxedo. And the voice, a harsh, rattling laugh, somewhere between a chuckle and a dare. You'll hear it echo through mangrove forests at dusk, like the island itself is clearing its throat before the night begins. Here's the fun twist. Despite its elegance, the black-capped kingfisher is actually a bit of a rebel. Most kingfishers stick close to rivers. This one says, nah, and hunts the coastline, diving between salt water and forest with zero hesitation. It's a boundary breaker, literally and spiritually. Its feathers are coated with microscopic ridges that bend light, making them shimmer between blue and violet depending on the angle. That's not paint, that's physics. It's how the bird turns shadow into art, and it's fiercely solitary. No flock, no chatter, no distractions. Just one bird, one horizon, one perfect dive. It doesn't compete, it commands. You don't find it, it allows you to notice it. Funny how the loudest colors belong to the quietest creatures, huh? So tell me, would you rather be the one making noise or the one everyone stops to look at when you finally move? The black-capped kingfisher doesn't chase the spotlight. It creates it by turning stillness into spectacle and silence into power. You ever meet someone who laughs so loud you can hear them before you see them? That's the collared kingfisher, the tropical comedian of Bali's coastline. Bright turquoise back, white collar, and a smirk that feels permanent. This bird looks like it just told a joke it's very proud of. And honestly, it probably did, because that laugh, that sharp cackling kick, is one of the island's most recognizable sounds. You'll hear it echoing through mangroves, across beaches, and over temple walls like the ocean itself is in on the joke. But don't let the humor fool you. This bird's got skill. It's a professional hunter, perched high above tidal pools, scanning for crabs, fish, even insects unlucky enough to cross the sand. And when it dives, it's pure efficiency. Quick, direct, clean. It doesn't miss often. Imagine a stand-up comedian who also happens to be a sniper. Here's a fun twist. Unlike most birds, the collared kingfisher loves the human world. You'll find it near fishing boats, village docks, even temple courtyards where it perches on statues of gods, like it's auditioning for divine sidekick status. Fishermen actually consider it a lucky charm, a sign the day's catch will be good. And you know what? It's easy to see why. This bird brings energy. Every laugh, every flash of blue across the waves feels like a reminder that the sea's still alive. And joy is part of the ecosystem too. They mate for life, share nests carved into sandy cliffs, and raise chicks that learn to laugh before they even learn to fly. Yeah, imagine that. A nest full of giggling baby birds at sunrise. And if that doesn't make you smile, check your pulse. So here's the question. In a world that takes itself way too seriously, wouldn't you rather sound like the ocean laughing? The collared kingfisher doesn't just live by the shore, it embodies it. Bright, unpredictable, and always ready to turn silence into sunshine. Every paradise needs a villain, and in Bali, it's this guy, the long-tailed shrike, a bird that looks elegant until you realize it's basically the mafia of the rice fields. At first glance, it's beautiful. Sleek black mask, cinnamon flanks, long flowing tail. You'd think it was just another stylish passerby enjoying the tropical view. But then you look closer and see what's hanging from the thorns. Tiny frogs, insects, even lizards. Yep, the shrike doesn't just hunt, it impales. They call it the butcher bird, a title it absolutely earns. It catches prey, stabs it onto sharp twigs or barbed wire, and leaves it hanging for later, like a very dark grocery list. Gruesome? Sure. But in the bird world, that's Michelin star efficiency. Here's the twist. This predator isn't big. It's barely the size of a robin. No claws, no talons, no drama. Just a wickedly sharp beak and a brain that could run a crime syndicate. It even mimics the calls of smaller birds to lure them in. That's not instinct. That's psychological warfare. And yet there's beauty in it. The shrike's world isn't cruelty, it's clarity. It doesn't kill for pleasure. It kills to live, clean, direct, unapologetic. While we romanticize paradise, the shrike reminds us. Balance includes blood. Every temple shadow needs a hunter. Every dawn chorus needs a silence between the songs. They perch alone on fences and reeds, scanning their territory. Watchful, calm, perfectly still. The embodiment of quiet power. You can almost feel them thinking, try me. So here's a question. In a world obsessed with peace, isn't survival its own kind of grace? The long-tailed shrike doesn't apologize for its edge. It wears it like a crown. Elegant, ruthless, and absolutely essential to paradise. If the long-tailed shrike is the dark edge of paradise, then the Pacific swallow is its drifting soul. Restless, light, and always chasing the horizon. You've seen them. Small, sleek birds slicing through the air above beaches and rice terraces. Wings curved like smiles. Tails forked and flicking like punctuation marks on the wind. They never walk, never stop. They just exist in motion. Every flight looks effortless, but what you're seeing is mastery. Split-second control over air currents. Every twist and loop tuned like a ballet choreographed by instinct. They feed mid-air, drinking and eating without landing, living their entire lives between one gust and the next. You ever envy that kind of freedom? No deadlines, no rent, just the wind. Here's the crazy part. Pacific swallows migrate across oceans without maps, crossing from Indonesia to Southeast Asia, sometimes all the way to Japan and back. They don't travel in flocks like geese. They go in loose, wandering groups, trusting the sky to guide them home. And somehow, it always does. Their nests cling to cliffs, bridges, even temple ceilings. Small mud cups built from patience and faith. You can spot them circling shrines at dusk, gliding through incense smoke as prayers rise with them. A perfect meeting of wings and spirit. Locals say swallows bring good luck, that when they return, they carry souls of travelers coming home. Maybe that's why it feels special when one flies past your head, like it's checking in to remind you, you still belong somewhere. And that's the beauty of it. They're not trying to own the sky. They just borrow it beautifully. So tell me, if home could move with you, would you ever need to stop flying? The Pacific swallow doesn't chase paradise. It lives inside it, a whisper on the wind, reminding Bali that freedom isn't found on the ground. Some birds scream for attention. This one whispers, and somehow that's louder. Meet the orange-headed thrush, the quiet poet of Bali's twilight. You'll find it in temple gardens and forest edges, half hidden among shadows and fallen frangipani petals. Its feathers glowing like embers. Deep orange chest, gray wings, black eyes that see everything and say nothing. If the day had a last breath before night, this bird would be it. Its song, soft, melodic, impossibly sad. Not a performance, a confession. Each note rises and falls like the sigh of the island itself, as if it's trying to hold the sun in place for just one more moment. Here's the twist. This bird sings most during the monsoon season. When the rain falls hardest, its voice grows strongest. It's like it knows beauty doesn't need sunshine. It just needs persistence. And maybe that's the real secret of the thrush. Grace under gray skies. They feed on insects and fruits, hopping gracefully across temple stones, moving with monk-like focus. If you're lucky enough to spot one, you'll see it pause mid-step, listening to something you can't hear. What is it? The wind? The earth? The past? You'll never know, and that's what keeps you watching. Fun fact, In many parts of Asia, people believe this bird carries good karma. Killing one, they say, brings bad luck. Hearing one sing brings peace. In Bali, where every sound feels sacred, the thrush isn't just part of the forest, it is the forest remembering itself. And as the sky burns orange and the incense smoke rises, the thrush's voice fades into silence. A reminder that endings can be gentle too. So tell me, if your life had a sound, would it be thunder? Or a song that only plays at sunset? The orange-headed thrush doesn't sing to be heard. It sings to remind the world how silence feels when it's beautiful. Every paradise deserves a final song. Something bright enough to close the curtain, but soft enough to make you stay. And in Bali, that song belongs to the Black-naped Oriole. You'll hear it before you see it. A clear, flute-like whistle that floats through the morning haze, sliding between temple bells and the rustle of palm leaves. Then out of the gold-tinted light, it appears. A flash of yellow so pure it makes sunlight jealous. This bird is Bali's exclamation mark. Lemon gold feathers, black mask, red eyes that look like they've seen every sunrise. It perches high in coconut palms or banyan trees. Perfectly framed by the sky, it was clearly designed to outshine. And yet, for all its color, it's not loud. It doesn't need to be. The Oriole sings like someone who knows they've already won the room. Each note smooth, confident, effortless, like jazz played by a god on vacation. Here's the twist. It's not just beauty for beauty's sake. The Oriole plays a vital role in the island's rhythm. It feeds on fruit, spreads seeds, keeps the cycle spinning. A golden messenger making sure paradise keeps regenerating itself. Even nature, it seems, has a favorite instrument. They're also surprisingly loyal, returning to the same trees year after year, the same branch, the same light, the same melody. It's devotion disguised as routine. And maybe that's the quiet wisdom of this bird. You don't have to leave to live a beautiful story. Watch one glide across a Balinese rice field at sunset, and you'll understand why locals call it Swara Surga, the voice of heaven. Not because it's divine, but because it reminds you what divinity feels like when it lands near you. So tell me, if joy had a color, would it look like this? Would it sound like gold? The Black-naped Oriole doesn't sing to end the day. It sings to make you wish it wouldn't end. And that's Bali. Not just an island, but a heartbeat with wings. 20 birds, 20 voices, each one carrying a piece of the island's soul across the sky. From the fierce calm of the White-bellied Sea Eagle to the divine whisper of the Bali Starling, from the chaotic laughter of the Lorikeet to the golden farewell of the Black-naped Oriole. Every feather here tells a story of faith, color, and survival. Bali isn't paradise because it's perfect. It's paradise because it's alive. Because in every rice field, every wave, every dawn chorus, you can still feel something sacred watching, singing, breathing with you. Maybe that's what the island teaches best, that beauty isn't fragile, and that spirit, real spirit, doesn't fade. It adapts, it glows, it flies. So the next time you stand on a Balinese beach and see a shadow cross the sun, don't look for gods in the clouds. They're already here, in the wings that pass above you and in the silence that follows their song.